We've also fixed in law that teens can get birth control, have an abortion, and get gender reassignment surgery without consulting parents. Although it may be possible, who is paying for that? Imagine the surprise of parents if their son goes to school one day and comes back as their daughter. Who would be the defendant in that lawsuit? Doesn't the government take kids away from parents who mistreat them? How does that square when the government or compliant schools cut off a kid's genitals? Children are being groomed by the rainbow people, and the Satanic Temple is opening up after-school Satan clubs for elementary students under the aegis of people who say,
"This is America, and these are our values."
"Is this what Kenya-born Barack Obama meant about America?" From a Norman Rockwell, economically successful, equal opportunity Christian nation with good old-fashioned conservative moral values to, well, whatever the hell we've got now. And all this nonsense has been perpetrated on us by Obama and Biden with the help of Democrat socialists, dozens of which are nesting in our own congressional body. Next time a politician says he intends to transform America, be sure and ask him before you vote. Into what? Sidebar. The leftist wordsmiths have now decided gender reassignment is no longer a politically correct term and suggest calling it gender correction as though their gender, which was codified at conception, was some kind of mistake. They really have a lot of fun with the English language. And as long as we're in this subject, why did we also lionize Ruth Bader Ginsburg, a radical leftist and former ACLU lawyer who not only favored putting taxpayer-funded abortion into the Constitution, but wanted to lower the age of consent to 12, legalizing 12-year-old children having sex by the suggestion, if not the blessing, of a Supreme Court justice? What was she thinking? Did she want to give a backstage pass to people like Jeffrey Epstein or pedophile members of NAMBLA, the National Man-Boy Love Association, whose mantra is sex before 8 or it's too late, and left-wing people like Bill and Hillary Clinton, the radical left-wing newspaper, the New York Times, and radical left-wing ABC News 187 hold Ginsburg up as a role model. Notice the commonalities therein. They are all card-carrying members of the far left. Who established that camp and why? Look at their values, and you'll discern the answer. Along this same avenue, we find our culture and morals being sunk like the Titanic into increasingly lower levels in the shadow of Obama's claim about fundamentally transforming the United States of America. E.g., children are becoming sexualized at earlier ages before many of them have even learned to count. Some are being convinced they were born in the wrong body before they can spell the word body. And this is a fallacy the left is perpetuating. Because God doesn't make mistakes and nobody is born into the wrong body. As it happens, some, but certainly not all, of the grooming of children is being done in Carleton School in New York City, where they have taught sex education in the 1st grade. Why do 6-year-old kids need to know what an erection is? Parents were outraged about it. And it's especially depressing that Carleton is a private school costing parents $55,000 a year to send their kids to an institution that is indoctrinating them, not educating them. At Columbia Grammar and Prep School in New York City, a bastion of leftist values, the same consultant presented to children a porn literacy class as intersectional focus on mainstream porn. But grooming doesn't end at elite schools. Sesame Street, a beloved children's show on TV for decades, has joined the slippery slope generation and has begun showing episodes that feature same-sex parents on their presentations, where they have also featured drag queen Billy Porter on air to teach kids the virtues of gender confusion. Drag Queen Story Hour has also become a well-known feature at public libraries, where drag queens in full makeup and outrageous attire tell stories to children in an attempt to indoctrinate children and make the abnormal seem normal. Speaking of drag queens, can anybody think they're entertaining or sending a positive message when they dress like nuns to mock Christianity? Nickelodeon's Blue's Clues and You, ADV program for preschoolers, is also an indoctrination platform for the LGBT movement trying to normalize the abnormal. If you'd really like to know more about the LGBT agenda, here's another installment we can add to the above that will explain some of it. Watch this video on YouTube titled, "We're Coming for Your Children." This sickness is spreading every bit as fast and widely as COVID did, and it is just as virulent. In case you forgot, back up and reread the part about Karl Marx wanting to abolish morality and connect these dots to the sexualization of children. The sad part, too, is that a federal judge ruled that Tennessee's anti-drag show laws are unconstitutional. However, if there is an age limitation on Hollywood movies, there should at least be an age limitation on subjecting children to drag queens at libraries and elsewhere. Who is in the wheelhouse of all this? That's easy. Beyond Satan. The short answer must include the globalists through which Satan works. What do they want? The next short answer is global domination through their one world government, and a strong America is in the way. The why is also easy to explain. We already know the quickest explanation is that Satan and God have been in a timeless spitting contest, and he, Satan, is at the core of what's happening to our moral fabric through the avowed atheist, Karl Marx. Otherwise, how do we explain why certain American citizens are willing to throw their own country away to godless socialism, lose their individual freedoms, and a system that has provided ample food? So much that we sometimes stuff our food with other food. An opportunity for people willing to work hard enough to achieve their dreams, and in addition, where drinking water is so plentiful in most places, we flush our toilets and wash our cars with it, and we don't have to walk for miles with a jar on our heads to get a drink. Why toss away a place that has been the envy of the world for generations, and makes millions of foreigners want to sneak in here to get a piece of what we have built?